Good to meet you as well.
Hello, I am Miller.
Good to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is David.
Good to meet you, David.
Hi, I'm Arthur. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Everybody? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well,
Yes.
it's great to have you. We have talked. Oops. Can I have one?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
We already talked to Henry, and he introduced us about everything, how to get involved with Starknet. We
Right.
had a talk with Louis yesterday.
Right.
We talked to Ben from Starknet ID, and who am I missing? We also talked to this, Timothy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he introduced us on the more technical aspects.
Right. I
And
guess everyone's pretty much covered everything. I don't know. I don't think I have anything to talk about.
of
So
course,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, so yeah. Firstly, maybe I can just introduce myself, and then maybe I can just walk you guys through about my journey. Maybe everyone's covered much about the technical side and about the grants and how you guys can contribute. Maybe I can talk about how I've been into the ecosystem, and maybe that can inspire you, and maybe that could provide you guys ways on how you guys can get started and get within the community itself. Uh,
Yes.
yeah.
Sorry, may I just ask you? We are English is not our first language, so if
Oh,
you just speak a little bit slower, so everybody can understand everything.
sure. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So firstly, hey everyone, I'm Akash and I work as an ecosystem manager at Starkware. So I've been mostly looking into building partnerships with other external projects, and I also look into developer onboarding within specific regions. So that's pretty much what I do. And my journey within the whole Web3 ecosystem started back 3 years ago. So I was working within the EVM chains for about 2 years, and then I transitioned into the Starknet ecosystem. I was working for about 1.5 years within the ecosystem. So the way that I started was I just got into an internship called the protocol name is hashtag. Maybe some of you might be aware. So it's like an undercollateralized loan lending platform on Starknet. So I worked there as an intern. I had no idea about what Starknet was, and I thought Starknet was a whole new thing related to Iron Man and all those kind of stuffs because of the term.
Hmm.
And yeah, so that's how I got started, and I got intrigued about the architecture of Starknet, and slowly I was put into learning into about Cairo Zero. So there was something called Cairo Zero before the Cairo version right now. The Cairo version right now is 2. So the Cairo Zero was pretty overwhelming, I would say, pretty hard as well. The reason is because it was pretty low level, and it was and just to give you guys a glimpse on how it was, the language did not have any loops, so you just have to go full recursion throughout the whole language. And yeah, I mean, then we transitioned on to migrating contracts to Cairo 1. So that was the other latest version of Cairo 1, Cairo itself. And that's how I transitioned, and I worked there for about 3-4 months. Got pretty interested in Starknet ecosystem and the stuffs that were happening within the ecosystem. And yeah, then I shifted on to a company called Router Protocol, so which manages all these cross-chain interactions, cross-chain communication, cross-chain bridging, and all these kind of stuffs. And I was the only Starknet developer there, and I was working on integration of Starknet network. So basically, the idea was upon building a communication, like cross-chain bridging between other EVM and non-EVM chains and Starknet. So this was a pretty big project, and I worked there for about 8 months, and I got about 65% to 70% completed over there. And then I moved out, and I was working as an for an internship at Nethermind. And Nethermind is a pretty big, huge company, and I don't want to talk so much about them. The name speaks for itself. So I was working there as a Cairo auditor, and right before this whole process, I got a chance to go into the Starknet Hacker House, something similar to what you guys have there, but this was totally by the foundation. It was in Istanbul, and me and my friend, we just had an idea. It was just two of us, and then we got accompanied by other two people, and yeah, there were about 20 odd projects there, and we came, I guess, about fourth or fifth, which was pretty pretty high, which was pretty cool for us since there were pretty high projects that were in the ecosystem for such a long time, and that was a pretty big achievement for us. And yeah, I mean, that's how I transitioned. I got into Nethermind as a Cairo auditor, worked there for I did few internships there, and then I got a chance into Starkware, where I just saw Abdul's post about him saying he's gonna extend the ecosystem team, and I just gave him I was pretty interested in it, and I just gave him a text, and that's how I landed over here, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's going pretty good so far. And the what the the stuffs that Starknet ecosystem provides to the users and developers, it's pretty underplayed. I would say it's not a lot of people are knowing about it. Uh, the re the For example, the grant structures that is available for developers. For example, if you guys have any idea, right? It can be any idea. You guys are looking out to build on Starknet ecosystem. We are pretty open to it. If you guys are a solo developer, you have an idea. You guys want to build upon Starknet, want to learn Cairo, want to build the project. We are open to it. We hand out builders grant, which are worth about 2.5K, and you guys can get started from there. And once we have like an MVP around that, then based on that, again, to scale the project from the MVP position to a much scalable project, again, then we go with a seed grant. So a seed grant is again somewhere around 25K. So again, the seed grant, again, we have all these milestone based accomplishments, where for each milestone we process a particular amount of grant from the 25K. Or again, if the project is really trustworthy, we just give 25K grant up ahead itself. And it doesn't stop there itself. And again, once you've achieved all the milestones, you have a product ready. Now again, you want to scale that product a bit more higher. Again, again, Starknet comes into play, gives you grants anywhere from 25K to 1 million. The whole idea is that if you guys have an idea, you guys can build a whole product and a company out of it within Starknet, and that's what Starknet gives you guys and guides you guys throughout. So that's a pretty cool thing. I don't know if a lot of ecosystems do support that, from scratch to the end, but that's what's available on Starknet. And I'm pretty interested on how many projects can actually come up from this particular hacker house that you guys have. And yeah, really looking forward for that.
Right.
Thank you so much, Akash.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Oh,
It is I mean, we think it's a really clear path forward, which is fantastic to know that those steps are there.
Right.
And some people from the Hacker House, some people come from the business side, some people, most of them are technical, some people come from the academia too. And we were wondering how these grants work in practice. Is the money given to people upfront? Is it on a milestone base? How is the process in practice to get the grant, and how to use it, and how to report back? Just to understand a little bit more.
So right now, the way that we have been moving towards is, so once, if, as I said, like, a builder builds an MVP, and then he has a team around that MVP and wants to scale that particular MVP, then we proceed with a seed grant. So as I said, seed grant is anywhere between 20, seed grant is worth 25K. Yeah. Is that true?
sorry. Now we can look. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We lost you for a couple of, like, for 10 seconds. Can you please?
Okay. 10 seconds. I'll rewind back 10 seconds. So as I was saying, so the builder grant that I was talking about. So if you guys have an idea and you guys are putting effort in order to learn Cairo, and you guys are looking out to build an MVP, you guys can approach with a builder's grant, build an MVP around it, have a team around your MVP, come forward with us on how you think you guys have the milestones that are to be achieved in order to scale that particular MVP into a simpler product. And if you guys have that kind of idea, you guys can be given out a seed grant. As I was saying, seed grants are 25K. Seed grants work in different criteria. It can be either upfront, or it can go in two phases, where we segregate half, give it in the first, and give the other half after certain milestones are done. So that's about the seed grant. And again, as I said, you have a pretty simple product. Now you want to scale it much more further. You want to create a company out of it, build a huge thing out of it. Then you guys can approach for a bigger grant, which is gonna be about 25K to 1 million, as I said. And these grants are gonna be working totally based on upon the milestones or in phases. So that's how it's gonna be throughout. So I'm just giving you like a clear idea on how you guys, if you think you have like an idea, how you guys can look at that particular idea in phases, and you guys can approach it within Starknet ecosystem. So yeah.
Thank you so much. And we are all very excited with the Brussels Hacker House.
Yeah.
We have been, we already formed teams and we already have ideas set. And today is the application day. So for the past days, we have been finishing Starklings and Node Guardians so we can be a full match. And we want to do something that has never happened before, which is send everybody from the Hacker House, send 20 devs, or at least the 15 that are available, send all of them to Brussels and have a huge mass of Brazilians there. And for that, I would really ask you for your help. And if you can, we would now present you the projects that we have, and you give us your feedback.
Yeah,
so
sure.
we what's missing, and yeah.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
So, do you guys want to start? Yes. I'm sorry.
Hello, Akash. So
Can you see? Yeah.
I'm new in this blockchain ecosystem, so if I'm talking nonsense, please stop me and correct what I'm saying. But our team, we're thinking about developing a system like Pendle. I've researched a little bit about the liquid staking, like the amount of money that's going on in liquid staking inside Starknet ecosystem, and I've seen that there's not much.
Right.
So since like Pendle, it's like from my understanding, it's something like that looks like yield trading, that you get the spread from like what it's the base the base, how do you say, like the base calculation from like, there's even a formula inside the Pendle documentation that they like enforce. I think it's established like within 365 days, like from the yield like, how do you say, like
APR.
yeah, no, actually like the yield variation.
Right.
So one thing I wanted to ask you is, in your opinion, what would benefit the Starknet ecosystem the most? Like we're thinking about Pendle, but maybe like Starknet ecosystem didn't go through like first, like that would be the like more money that is going into staking to have more people like having more interest in Starknet to do like this Pendle like systems to make all the yield spread operations. So like resuming, like it would be like, in your opinion, like are we going too far, like thinking about developing a system like Pendle? Is it better for us to look into another solution before going into that? So yeah, I think that
I guess I'm 100% up for that idea. If that's something that's missing on Starknet, and of course we are up 100% gonna support you guys for that. I mean, yeah, if that's something that's missing on Starknet, that's for sure. You guys are like, it would be pretty cool for you guys to build that up on Starknet, and you are gonna get 100% of our support towards that.
I see. So you think like developing, so like inside the Pendle system, I've seen that there are like a lot of features, like especially the cross chain system. I think from what I can do, it's a little bit like too far away from what I can implement right now, and what it's like what the system needs in terms of like technical knowledge.
Right.
So if we would like focus in one feature, what do you think that which feature would benefit the Starknet ecosystem the most?
I guess maybe like focusing on the basic features of that particular thing. It doesn't see that I get what you're trying to say. It's like you guys do not have the enough resource to build the whole dApp over Starknet.
Yeah.
But what you guys can do is basically like try establishing basic features of what's there available, what's the underlying basic feature of it, implement it yourself. Or if that's not the case, maybe you guys can also uh, approach us with some kind of builder grant, or maybe also put this project open source, or only just get some funding over through that, and you will have a lot of people contributing to your particular open source project. And maybe that's one way how you can develop your project going forward. So that's one way that I see.
I see.
Yeah.
And just one question. I've seen that you've contributed in
Token stream. Token stream.
token stream system for Starknet.
Yeah, Toka.
Uh,
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think about that? And why did the project stop like 5 months ago? It's not interesting for the Starknet
Oh.
because
No, it's not stopped. I was just so I was approached by Abdul regarding this, and he had asked me if I could take this up, and I took that up. And the criteria, I mean, the need for that particular protocol was just linear, I guess, linear streaming and not dynamic streaming. So I've implemented the whole part of linear streaming over there. So that's about linear streaming. And yeah, the dynamic streaming is not yet done because Abdul didn't ask me to do that. And also there was a dependency on linear streaming for another framework called Undraggable Meme Coin. So there was a dependency for just linear streaming. So I just implemented the linear streaming. So yeah, and I was also Sablir is also, so the whole idea came from Sablir itself. If you might have seen, Sablir is the token streaming protocol on Ethereum, Polygon, and all those kind of stuffs. It's the whole, I just migrated their contracts of linear streaming over Cairo, and the whole Sablir protocol is looking forward to migrate their whole contracts in Cairo as well. So they have been taking a look at this protocol as well. So yeah, they are also going to be building out the whole token streaming protocol over Starknet. So that's something up as well.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all. Thank you.
Sure.
So, hi, Akash, I'm Lucas. I'm in a team with David. And about the token stream system, what do you think about we continue to develop it? Because it was one of our ideas, and as we start to research it, we found your repo in GitHub, and so we didn't distrinch it. We didn't analyze the whole repo yet,
Mhm.
but as you were talking before, there was some complications and features that you did not implement it yet. So
So yeah, the
what
part that I not implement is dynamic streaming. Yeah.
yeah. So what's your opinion about if we decide to continue to build it and try to develop this dynamic part of the system?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are really interested on building the dynamic part of the Tokai platform, please feel free and just approach me or Abdul. We'll we can initiate that whole process and get you guys start doing open source contributions for that protocol. So
Sure.
that's- yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
Yes. Hi. My name is Carla, and I'm with Ranulf over there. And we are building something called Mycelia Stark. And the idea is to have decentralized GPU network on a Starknet to run AI models, and
Mhm.
even maybe to run the CK proofs that Starknet itself needs. So maybe it could become something important at an infrastructure level for the Starknet itself.
Right.
And our idea is to have this as have all the members, the people that are offering their GPU power, and the people that are using this to run their models, both are members of Mycelia, and they both will share part of the profits out of this business. So to have it in a more, let's say, collaborative way. And we think it's a really a great opportunity because AI is poised to grow a lot in the next years. And we need to be ready. This is something that is already working in other ecosystems like Solana. We're seeing cool projects there, and we want to bring that to Starknet. So we'll love your feedback on that. How you see the potential of the project or the
Yeah,
challenges.
we have been pretty focusing on Deepen projects as well, and this project does come under Deepen itself. So I mean, this project is pretty interesting, to be honest. And based on, I mean, this can be a good partnerships between Giza as well. I mean, I see a like a good partnership with Giza as well. If this was something that was up within Starknet, so yeah, I'm pretty interested as well.
Thank you. And I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned it before, about using only Dust to kind of kickstart our project. Would you talk a little bit more about that? How to use only Dust in a good way, and what would be your recommendations?
Yeah, sure. I mean, is this in terms of contributions to Only Dust, or is it like you want to open source your project over Only Dust and have people contributing to your project?
Yeah, the second part.
Second one, okay. I believe there's some kind of application over Only Dust where they take like this monthly application over Only Dust where if you have this particular idea that you want to build and you have like an MVP ready over it already, and maybe you guys have like a proposal and want to open source it, then the foundation gives you like an grant amount in order to make this like work over this MVP in cycles. And yeah, so the way that the whole process is that, for example, uh, there'll be like this project lead. For example, if you have a project and you're the project lead, you'll be given a certain amount of fund for that particular project. And once you see people start contributing to your particular project, and based on the issues that you have created and you want these features to be implemented, so once that is merged, once the PR is raised and merged, then the way that the process goes is that the project lead, that is you, with a certain amount of funds, you will be transacting some amount of fund as part of like completing this particular issue. So this is how the whole process goes on. So yeah, so I guess maybe the people from Only Dust will be able to answer much better than this. Maybe I can connect you guys with Emily from Only Dust. So yeah.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
We also have a project that is gamification. It's a mobile game where
Okay.
you see it meant to be onboarding to Web3, and our first stage, our MVP, would be onboarding to Starknet ecosystem. So there's a map where you see, okay, your way to Brussels from Brazil, for example. And so on the way, we have Starknet Hacker House in Brazil, so what we have here. And then you have people here who, like everybody that was here, can leave you can find like something like a collectible from them or something, maybe an NFT, but like you can kind of interact with them. But then the idea is that as you walk through these steps, you arrive at Brussels, and we have a lot of resources that were shared, for example, by you, like, hey, everybody should present, you should encourage everybody to contribute to Only This or to come up with an MVP. And then Henry shared a bunch of links and people to follow and what are the best accounts. And then Louis gave some other ideas. So there's a lot of resources being shared in this space. And then as you walk through the game, we want to gamify the resource sharing. So you can, when you follow all of these accounts on Twitter, you can play a game and then you get a reward. And then you go to the next step. So in a way, we are gathering the resources to enable you to learn more about the ecosystem and also learn Cairo. So maybe there's an excerpt of Cairo book, and you have to go through it, and then maybe some quizzes. Maybe we do something in partnership with CodeJam. So as you are playing the game, you are also learning and walking towards your goal. And then we can maybe do it very simple version, just to get you to brushes. And if it works, if it's playable, we can expand and get you in a learning path where you learn ZK, or you can at least find the resources to learn ZK. And not only what you would find, for example, in the website, but also get you in contact with the people. So all of like our conversation today, so maybe people can get to know you better with your introduction that you gave today. Maybe we put something like that in the app, and we can explore such this type of
Yeah, got it. So it's basically gamifying the whole onboarding process into Starknet. Is that what you're trying to say? And
Yes.
having like NFCs where there'll be certain areas where you have this particular NFC and you just go tap and you get an NFT, and meaning that you've reached this particular milestone and you've done this particular mission, something like that. Is that what you're saying? Okay,
Uh-huh.
understood. I mean, it sounds pretty cool to me. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty nice. But how do you see this project in terms of like people trying to find ways where the particular milestone or mission is just trying to see how this can be like scaled.
Uh,
I mean, yeah, it sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, sounds pretty interesting to me.
Hi, with in the same team. For example, another feature can be people can learn about the ecosystem, like in layer 3 or Galaxy. You can learn about Nostra, or I want to learn about ZK and get more knowledge, and maybe finding people that is in the same interests and build. The thing is to build something to develop, to onboard the community and
Right.
new people to the same process that we are living here, but not exactly need to be in the Stark houses. It's something about more for general use as well. Anyone that can want to interact with the Starknet ecosystem, for example.
Right. Understood. Yeah, I mean, this sounds pretty good to me. Like the way that I see this project can be a bit similar to what Pokemon Go is, and you have like Pokestops, and these Pokestops can be these resources or these milestones to be reached. And yeah, and once you have these milestones reached, then you get incentivized and have some kind of proof of work, showcasing that you guys have actually done that particular milestone. Yeah, that's something that I see how this can be out here. That's pretty cool to me.
Nice. And we can make it scalable by making it very organic. So you as a participant, you can also suggest your own track. So for example, we have been studying Cairo, and we came here with the mindset of studying Cairo and about Starknet. And then Danilo came up with I can never say what's the name.
TSL and
TSL. Yeah. So he came with this project from the PSC team, and he wants to integrate. Sorry if I'm giving spoilers, but he and so he could like as a participant, he could just create his own track, a new track, and start leaving resources in and create his own
Sure.
stop.
That sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, it sounds pretty fun. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, he wants.
So we listen. You listen a lot of our ideas, but I want to know what are your vision about the future of Starknet, and what are the areas in crypto or in Starknet that you think will grow in the next years, and what the future is like in your opinion?
I mean, maybe I can just firstly, talk you through about projects that I would like to see. So the projects that I would like to see, for example, if I was a user myself, I want to like interact with an app in such a way that I do not know that I'm actually using something that's with respect to Starknet itself. And we do have all those kind of infrastructure. For example, having native account abstraction enables all these kind of stuff. So if I do have, if I'm a user and I'm if I want to like some project and want to interact with the same project every day, every time, I just need that whole process to be in a way that I shouldn't even be able to understand that it was a project that was linked with Starknet ecosystem. And we do have all those infra, ready up to use, to make sure that the UX and UI for a user in such a way that they do not feel that it's in such a way. So yeah, I am highly looking out for projects something similar to this, and in terms of mobile apps itself. So yeah.
Sure. So in your opinion, less friction to the user is the future that you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. From my
Sure.
point of view. Yeah.
No,
I think we all
I
want
agree.
it, right? We want to suffer less.
yeah, we all want that for
Right.
sure. So
Right.
you want
Okay.
here.
Okay, so we're looking to create a platform where people with powerful PCs can rent their own PCs to another people and use it for cloud gaming, for PC cloud gaming, and they would receive tokens for that. And it's a different way to decentralize that's the cloud gaming. And I would like to know what you think about it and how could it contribute to Starknet? Yeah.
Right. Do you have any research with respect to, or do you have any inspiration on any other projects that do work similarly with respect to this idea? Do you have any projects in your mind, like any references that you got from this idea?
Yeah, like the xCloud from Microsoft, but
Okay.
no, there's no inspiration on the Web3 world.
Right. Right. Yeah. Even I'm not seeing something similar to that in Web3 ecosystem itself. But yeah, I mean, having something similar to that would be pretty cool. I haven't seen any implementation of that, but maybe if you guys were able to do that, that'll be like something first of its kind of an implementation. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it, but yeah, maybe
Okay,
not.
thank you.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. Yeah, it'll be pretty cool too.
Okay. So nice.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, any other questions? Do you want to share your idea? No? Samuel? No? Okay.
I have a question.
Okay. Bring it, keep
Hey,
on.
Akash, I'm Danilo. I don't think we met in person.
I've just seen you, but we haven't got a chance to talk. Yeah.
Okay,
Good to
I
meet
have
you.
a question. Please give me a sincere answer. Now that you are seeing like some ideas from the Brazilian community, like, well, what do you think are the quality of the projects that are being developed here, and compared to like other countries, and like, do you think we need to step up the quality, or you think we're in a good track? Please give me a sincere opinion. Yesterday, Louis already confused us with Argentinians. There's nothing worse, even if you say it's horrible.
We
it's
cannot
still
go
good.
lower than that, right?
Yeah. So I'm just kidding. So yeah, we'd love to hear your sincere opinion, because we're trying here to like get good feedback to.
Mhm.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Understood. I mean, I really liked about two, three projects. I mean, all the projects that I've listened so far, it's been pretty nice to be honest. I don't want to be too harsh or too good. I'll just be very honest here. I liked about the idea of having those gamified way of onboarding developers. I guess Patty or someone approached. So that was something that I really liked. And I guess there was the other one, the Deepen project that she Deepen GPU one. That was pretty interesting as well. And yeah, that was pretty interesting as well. Since I don't think that's something that's there in our ecosystem, and having projects like these would actually bring in a lot more user activities within the ecosystem and can be a good add-in in terms of infra as well. And also like people, even though they did not I mean even though there were people looking out for ideas, there were people that I saw were looking out in order to improve upon the existing idea. For example, I saw a team working with respect to Tokoi. They saw the Tokoi branch and they wanted to improvise upon what's not implemented. So Tokoi is a platform, a streaming platform which is inspired from Sablia. So in Sablia we have both lockup linear and lockup dynamic. So I had implemented the lockup linear, but there was a team that like pointed out saying why hasn't this been done yet and stuff. So they are interested towards improvising and creating lockup dynamic. I mean, that's pretty cool. The thing is that I've seen so far is that people are really interested and have, like really put in ways on how they could improvise their thoughts and bring in new projects, but not the same existing projects that's within the ecosystem. So far that I've seen, the projects that I've heard about is pretty cool, and it's pretty something that's not yet available in our ecosystem. And I would really love to see those projects in our ecosystem. So that's pretty much it.
Woo!
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for your feedback. at any point you think, hey guys, you guys need to step up also, or like criticisms are very welcome.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
And I also have a question. We have been very inspired by the by Starknet ecosystem because most of these people like are Web2 devs who came to Web3. So we have a lot of onboarding to Web3 and Starknet. Well, Danilo and I, we really like the ecosystem. So for us, it's easy. But we see a lot of these people like they really got inspired. So it's nice to see. And we have been talking about the next steps after the Hacker House, like doing meetups all around Brazil, and we want to fund our own like small, not a DAO, but like I have a multi-sig, so we can all travel together for DevCon, for example, and we do all of that. So one of the ways to get the 20K, which would be like the support for us, would be to do a lot of meetups of Starknet around Brazil. And I wanted to ask you if this is something that you that sounds like we can also contribute, not just use Starknet, but actually provide value for you guys.
Right,
so if
exactly.
you have, yeah, how does it sound?
Right. I mean, as part of the next step, I would see, these projects not dying off here just as a Hacker House project, but come out as a, all these projects coming out as an MVP and then coming out as a pretty simple project and then scaling up to a company itself. So that's something that, we would expect out. And not just that, and we would also expect, people within the Hacker House who has learned about Starknet and Cairo, we would expect them to, maybe talk about it or, go out, create events within Brazil and try creating awarenesses on the amount of the amount of opportunities that are available for other Brazilian developers that can be onboarded onto Starknet ecosystem and, can leverage the resources that's available on Starknet ecosystem. So that's something that we would be really looking forward to, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, nice.
Sure.
Good. Any other questions? A question from you for us or something?
I've got no
No?
question. I would just like to ask, how is the Hacker House has been going so far, and how are you guys enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I cannot answer that because I'm partial. I can.
Sure. I will talk about myself because I can speak for everyone, but I'm liking a lot. I'm learned Cairo. That was something that pretty new to me. I was a Solidity dev, but Cairo is another word. It's I don't know if it's the implementation is a little bit different, but I like it to learn and meet all these people around me. It makes me feel good and make new friendships and everything. So I'm pretty happy with the Hacker House right now, and I expect to have a lot to contribute with everyone as well. So that's my opinion about it.
Right.
Someone wants to...
And I just want to add some points over here. So, it's not just important for you guys to just learn, but actually make connections. Like you have Danilo here, you got to make good connections with him and good connections within every event that you guys go around, because skills matter, but connections really do matter, and it can put you guys anywhere through. And one more thing to add on is that, going forward, if you guys are looking for any opportunities within the ecosystem, then Only Dust is the way. Only Dust is going to be the way for you guys to learn about a new project, learn, develop, and then get incentivized as well. So going forward, like for example, if you guys have good contributions within like 3-4 months span, or going forward, you got, for example, if you guys have good contributions for a particular project or throughout all the projects, then you guys can use this as your portfolio to approach other protocols within the Starknet ecosystem to land yourself a job. So that's one way you guys can look out for as well. And there's one more thing coming up. So we have our Stark Hack Hackathon coming up, which is scheduled on June 13th to June 26th. And the prize pool was somewhere around 75K and now just got raised up to 125K. So I'd highly expect you guys apply to that and showcase the piece that you guys have here over there, build few more features on top of what you guys have already built here and put it over there. And yeah, that is something that we really want to see. And just want to mention something as well. So the top projects that are coming up from the hackathon itself. Winning projects, top projects, any projects that we think is really good. If it's not just winning out, but we think that's really good, we will be coming forward with a seed grant for those projects. So that's something you guys can expect, and yeah, that's something up as well. So just wanted to put that out as well.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you.
Right.
Anyone wants to start?
I would like to say something or ask you something, because I mean, here we are focusing on creating projects and creating companies,
Right.
but there's also another path, right? Like, for example, like your own journey, joining teams that are already building amazing things as an intern and then moving, right? So I would love for you to go a little bit deeper on that experience. How did you do it?
You're talking about establishing a company itself, right?
No, that's I mean, we are focused on that, but we know that also some people wants to join teams that are already working on projects, and maybe going that path of first looking for an internship and showing a little bit of value or contributing, and then joining a team, kind of a career on Starknet. If you can talk a little bit more about that.
I guess the best person to answer that would be Danilo itself, because he's got Kakarot out there, and there's been a lot of contributors contributing to Kakarot. And I mean that. So the way that I see, or the way that I would suggest you guys, is if you see a project that has a pretty good potential and you guys see a really good future for it, you guys can start out, start contributing to that particular project. Uh, as the project grows, and as the that particular protocol grows, it's gonna be a way that the one with the most contributions, or the one that's been very active throughout the contribution, is gonna be hired anyway. So that's a no-brainer over there. So that's one way that I see. As I said, your contributions really matter in the ecosystem, and every protocol within the ecosystem is gonna look at your contributions. So that's gonna be your portfolio, or that's gonna be your resume. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Do you want to comment, Daniel, or later?
No, I can talk about node gardens about only just after.
Okay. So I think we have exhausted all our questions. Thank you so much.
No issues. It was nice talking to you guys, and I'm really hoping you guys build out your projects into scale your projects, and really hoping to see you guys over Starkhack as well. So yeah, pretty excited.
Yeah. Are you going to ourselves? Thank you there.
Sure. See you guys then. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.